All right, guys, let's talk about some ways you can tell or signs of a slow metabolism. Now, most people definitely want to increase their metabolism, but you have to know first, do you have a slow metabolism? I'm going to walk through 11 of them. They're not definitive. I think if you have one, that does not mean you have a slow metabolism. So there's some nuance to these things. So you're going to probably need more than one, but they give you a general idea. So let's hop right into it. The first one, and the one I find the most important, is just your basal body temperature in the morning before you get out of bed. Now, back in the day when people had thyroid problems, or AKA metabolism problems, they didn't do fancy blood tests. They just primarily relied on that person's body temperature, because a cold body temperature was kind of a hallmark of a low thyroid or a slow metabolism. So ideally, if you're lying in bed, you've woke up but you haven't got out of bed, go ahead and measure your body temperature. Ideally, we want to see it above 97.8 Fahrenheit before waking in the morning. When I was having my thyroid issues, slow metabolism, I was running in the low 96s. I now run just above 98 most mornings. Energy level swings can be a big one. What I notice in people is they can go from being very exhausted to all of a sudden they're jittery, almost kind of hyper responsive. And this has a lot to do with your body kicking out stress hormones because it doesn't have enough energy flow. And the same with mood swings. Number 3 can go from anxiety to almost anger to depression. We can have sort of wild mood swings. Poor sleep tends to be a huge hallmark of a bad metabolism. For example, people can have difficulty getting to sleep. A very common one is they'll wake up in the middle of the night, say 2 or 3 in the morning, and they're wide awake. And that's usually because you've run out of glycogen stores. A good little trick for that is maybe go have some orange juice, piece of fruit, a little bit of salt. It'll calm down those stress hormones, help you get back to sleep. But that can be a sign of a slow metabolism. Now, I want to talk about things going on in the extremities. This is also very telltale, very common. Often people, number 5, they complain of cold or clammy hands. The same thing with lips. They can take on even a bluish tint or just generally a lack of color. People will often complain of their nose being cold. The same thing with their nails. Not only can you see slow growth, but they can tend to be brittle and thin. So those are kind of hallmark ones in your extremities. Again, kind of jumping back to the mental part of it, you can also see that people are scattered. They're forgetful. They have a difficult time remembering things, concentrating, those sorts of things. Now I want to talk about pulse rate. Pulse rate, generally speaking, in people with good metabolic function actually runs on the higher end, say above 75 beats per minute. Now, it's really popular today to say, hey, we have to have pulse rates as low as possible. For example, in athletes, you can see their pulse rates can be quite low, 40, 45, somewhere in there. That doesn't necessarily mean they have a good metabolism. A lot of those people can have very low body temperatures as well. It means they're fit, it means their heart's more efficient, but it doesn't mean they have a great metabolism, okay? And the last one I'd like to point out is bowel movements. Now, a lot of people think it's common to not have a bowel movement each day. You should have at least one bowel movement each day. It shouldn't be loose stool, shouldn't be really hard, should be a healthy bowel movement. But if you're not going to the bathroom each day, at least once each day, it's oftentimes a sign of a slow metabolism. If you look at a lot of these cultures that eat natural foods, they're active and kind of that hunter-gatherer type tribe, so forth, it's very common for them to go 1 to 3 times a day. In America, in industrialized nations, not so much, usually a sign of a slow metabolism. So again, this is not the be-all, end-all. These are just some kind of pointers, but I find that people struggling with metabolic issues, weight gain, some of these sorts of things, these are some kind of good predictors to go off. So let me know in the comments, guys, any other topics that you would like me to cover. Let me know. I hope the video was helpful. I will see you in the next one. Thanks.